Hypixel Skyblock Dungeons. Since the recent patch, Dungeons has changed. Since then, they've made many changes to the requirements of items and armor. This is due to probably getting more rich players into the community of Dungeons, since they'll probably be doing more dungeon-focused updates in the future. And today, I'll be showing you how to grind every level efficiently from the bottom all the way to the top, and what gear you can use for richer players that haven't gotten invested into dungeons. The first guide I'll be making, this weapons and item guide, is Mage. Mage is the most expensive class inside dungeons and is the most promising for floors 1 through 7, but pre-master mode. Mage is technically a glass cannon, so you will have low HP but high DPS and AoE. For this weapon, I suggest using the Yeti sword. The Yeti sword recently has been dropped out of the requirement and is very cheap of a weapon for rich players that are currently wanting to enter dungeons. Right now, a perfectly good Yeti sword costs about as you can see here, Yeti swords cost about 45 mil. Now 45 mil is very good due to the damage it does. Inside dungeons, it does more right click damage than a Hyperion, and the left click damage of a Mage is very comparable to the Hyperion. Since then, after the patch, they've dropped the requirement for the Yeti sword, and it is an extremely good weapon for richer players to start dungeons with. As I've just noticed from editing this video, there is no really good armor for a specific class, but these armors are really good sets outside and inside of dungeons. Before we continue on with the video, I will not be saying any more classes. Thank you for understanding. Thanks for watching, and please consider to subscribe. It is free, and it would help me out so much. I'm trying to hit 300 subs by the end of this month, so yeah, it would be pretty cool if you would subscribe. And yeah, I guess thanks. Continue on. Sorry for the sad. Bye. Alright, next up we'll have this armor that I'm talking about, and that is perfect armor. Perfect armor requirements also has been dropped, and you can currently use it at any catacombs level, meaning that you'll be able to use perfect tier 12 as soon as you enter the dungeon. Now, that is extremely overpowered due to how perfect armor is used in late game Mage and other setups in floor 6 runs. That is crazy because you can speed up your progression by a lot with just perfect armor. Now, perfect armor is great for defense and all, but that's really if you only just need EHP. It is really suggested to put a few pieces in Mage, Healer, or use full perfect to completely run tank with, or actually 3/4 perfect with Reaper Math. Doesn't really matter. And then, after this, I have this really cool armor that I want to talk about. And that is the Frozen Blaze armor. Now, as you've heard, the Frozen Blaze armor without the Blaze Pet is very bad. But with the Blaze Pet, it scales in dungeons. Now, what this can do is it can carry you from all the way from Catacombs 0 to Catacombs over 40 while you still can use this set. It outdamages Necron, and it has just, it's way cheaper than Necron. But the only problem with this is that you're pet locked, which is really sad. But this setup can continuously carry you all the way up to maybe over Catacombs 40. Reminder, you can start using this from Catacomb 0 at 5 star, since they dropped their requirement. That is insane. Now, continuing on, we also have other items, like the Midas Staff. Now, I currently would say you should not use the Midas Staff, since it blocks arrows and, well, your teammates will hate you. But it does really good damage, and you could definitely use it. Its requirements have also been taken off, but I don't really suggest using it. I'd say you're better off with a Yeti sword instead, but yeah. Anyways, this is the end of the video because I do not have much more to talk about. There's many more items, of course, but not as overpowered as these I've been introducing. But one more thing ahead. You can quickly level up through catacombs by just using these things. Also, a Flower of Truth does not need a catacombs requirement or a floor requirement, meaning that you could use the Flower of Truth from the beginning of the dungeon to the end of the dungeon. This setup will only cost around 80 mil if you're running Burrs with Frozen Blaze Armor and Blaze Pet. And if you're running as Mage, well, Perfect Armor with 3/4 Perfect Armor with Wither Goggles would be really nice, since Wither Goggles also have been taken off the requirement for Catacombs. So, good luck people grinding dungeons, and I hope to see you around. Have a nice day, and goodbye. Remember to subscribe.